Coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever goes on the Good Follow podcast and talks about Caitlin Clark's development, her techs for next season, at least like what she wants them to be, and a lot more of the Indiana Fever.
Coach Stephanie White is cooking up something special in Indiana, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it. White isn't just tweaking Clark's play, she's reconstructing it from the ground up, like a master builder designing a blueprint for greatness.
We have an exclusive sit-down interview with the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. She was the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, an NCAA champion, a baller herself, a WNBA champion, and my former broadcasting teammate. What's up, Stephanie White?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. It's so great to have you on the show, Steph.
While some players are more focused on posting choreographed workouts for likes, yes, we're looking at you, Angel Reese. White is focused on turning Clark into an unscoutable, unstoppable force. This isn't about flash, it's about fundamentals. And in doing so, White isn't just elevating Clark, she's quietly putting players like Reese in their place before the season even tips off. Her goal? To fine-tune Clark's natural brilliance by eliminating the few predictable habits in her game and unlocking her full superstar potential. If you're excited to see Caitlin on the court again, comment "Fired up for CC" down below. Let's go.
So, in watching Stephanie White talk about Caitlin Clark's development, it was very fascinating to get her take on it as an actual coach.
One of White's first orders of business is shaking up Clark's go-to moves. Those reliable right-hand drives and lefty step-back threes that defenders have started to anticipate. They've been staples in Clark's arsenal, but as White sees it, everyone's got the scouting report now. To stay one step ahead, they're reworking her footwork, polishing her finishing touches at the rim, and reimagining how she moves without the ball. What we're looking at is a total skill refresh, the kind that can vault a great player into an unstoppable one.
I think from just a straight basketball perspective, making sure that we help her diversify, her finishing ability, diversify in the way that it's not predictable, to be able to be equal in terms of production and facilitation.
It's not just talk either. This comprehensive player development plan is already showing signs of transformation. And make no mistake, Clark isn't just evolving. She's leveling up in ways that could flip the WNBA landscape on its head.
We already know that Caitlin has put on some strength and muscle. She had that viral picture.
Yeah, you saw that, yeah.
You might have seen that viral photo floating around. Caitlin Clark looking absolutely jacked, with muscle tone that had fans wondering if the image was AI generated. But Coach White put the rumors to bed in one sentence. Those muscles are 100% authentic. No filters, no Photoshop, no AI. That's the result of serious off-season grind.
I asked her if it was Photoshop.
She said it was AI.
And let's just say, Clark's been in the lab. Think superhero montage meets real-life GOAT training. That transformation isn't just for show. It's a signal that she's preparing for war next season. This is about survival in the WNBA jungle, and Clark is coming back stronger, faster, and more locked in than ever before.
What aspects of her game would you like to work with her on for this season?
Yeah, I mean, certainly getting stronger was one. The level of physicality in the W is totally different. That's the way that teams have to try to keep her off balance.
Her strength gains also align with one of the biggest challenges she faced as a rookie: physicality. Last season, opposing defenders frequently bumped her off her spot, disrupted her drives, and used their strength to throw her rhythm out of whack. White saw it. Clark felt it. And now she's doing something about it. The result? A tougher, more grounded version of Clark who's no longer getting tossed around by bigger guards or wings. This transformation isn't just about aesthetics, it's about resilience, durability, and dominance. You're going to see Clark holding her ground this year like never before.
Keeping a low center of gravity. There are times where she plays a little bit upright, making sure core strength and her ability to move with time under tension and stay in a low center of gravity is important. Lateral movement, like one of the challenges that we're coming to her with right away is on the defensive end of the floor. Use your size, use your length. You've got to that's got to be a priority, right? That's got to be a priority to play both ends, because we don't have to go from 11 or 12 to 1 or 2, but we got to get to middle of the pack.
And here's where things get even more exciting. Clark isn't just buying into the plan, she's thriving in it. According to White, Clark picked up on foundational drills so fast it shocked the coaching staff. From day one, they focused on balance, spacing, and footwork. By day two, she was already adjusting like a seasoned vet. White didn't mince words. Clark is a perfectionist, and her appetite for growth is relentless. White even compared her to none other than Kobe Bryant. Yeah, Kobe, the Black Mamba himself. That's how intense Clark's focus is. That viral photo we saw? It's more than just muscles. It's a symbol of a deeper transformation. This isn't about bulking up for Instagram likes. It's about fortifying her body to thrive in a league where contact is constant and strength is currency. She's not just preparing to survive, she's preparing to dominate.
I think from just a straight basketball perspective, making sure that we help her diversify, her finishing ability, diversify in the way that it's not predictable.
While Clark is in the gym rewriting her DNA, let's take a moment to contrast that with Angel Reese's offseason. Whereas Clark is training in silence, grinding in the gym, and retooling her game with surgical precision, Reese is posting glamorized workout clips on social media. We've seen those three-point videos, heavily edited, polished, and curated for the timeline. But real development? That's happening behind the scenes with Coach White and Clark.
Angel Reese, back in the gym, working on her pull-up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out, being able to create some space for herself. Yes, this looks embarrassingly slow. No, it is not in slow motion. This is just what we have to work with right now.
Clark's grind isn't for show, it's for the scoreboard. Coach White's approach isn't just about fixing a few tendencies. It's about transforming Clark into the kind of weapon you can't scout against. One day she'll drive left, the next she's hitting floaters, and by the third she's dishing off no-look assists from a fake-out you didn't see coming. She's becoming the WNBA's version of a chess grandmaster, thinking 5 moves ahead, playing the long game.
9, let's get it! Knockdown! Bang!
Hey, man, we got a fire on the poop deck. Watch out, watch out, watch out! 4!
Bang!
Mayday!
Mayday!
Clear the runway! Brace for impact! AR-5 coming in heavy!
Bang!
Look alive, sunshine. Long 2, will it go through? Ha, no chance. Bang. Is it me, or is there only 2 rows behind the bench and they're like half full? I get better attendance on Monday nights in my men's league.
Come on, man! Bang!
With White guiding her evolution, Clark isn't just refining her skills. She's becoming something more. A positionless offensive engine, a 3-level scorer who's also a world-class facilitator. And that kind of player doesn't just shake up a team, they change the league.
We got some footage from in the lab. That's right, she's in the damn gym. I'm just gonna keep it real. I guess hell has frozen over, but she is in the gym practicing shots. And as you can imagine, there's real reaction to this.
So while Angel Reese may be chasing clout and likes, Caitlin Clark is chasing greatness. And with Stephanie White steering the ship, Indiana might just have the most dangerous duo in basketball. But here's the real plot twist. Coach White is just getting started. Strength is one piece of the puzzle. The other? Strategy. As the rookie season wore on, a pattern became impossible to ignore. Clark had become a little too predictable. Smart defenders began to sniff out her signature moves, the right-hand drive, the left step back, and exploited that predictability.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
By the end of the season, it was like watching a chess match where the opponent already knew her opening moves. That's where White is now focused, rewriting the script so that Caitlin Clark becomes unpredictable again. On the Good Follow podcast, White laid it all out. She said point blank that Clark's most exploitable tendency was favoring her right-hand drive and stepping back left for shots. It worked early on, but in the WNBA, you've got elite defenders watching hours of film. You need to evolve or get shut down. And White isn't going to let Clark be predictable for a second longer.
To hear, because everybody knows the thing with Caitlin that made her so good was that everyone knows what she's doing and they can't stop it. If she's going left, she wants to shoot the step back. If she goes right, she wants to go to the basket. And yes, there are times that she can like kind of fade away a bit over the right shoulder, or she can make a kind of move going right and slow down, speed up. Like, she's very, very good, quick first step, and runs so well in transition.
As Caitlin Clark's rookie season wore on, a troubling trend began to emerge, one that both fans and analysts couldn't ignore. In her final 10 games, defenders contested her go-to step-back jumper 22% more often than they had in her opening 10 matchups. It was clear. Teams had figured out the playbook. The more the season progressed, the more Clark's offense began to hit a wall. Defenders, especially savvy veterans, caught on quickly. They loaded up on her right hand, shaded left to take away her step back, and suddenly, the same moves that had once lit up highlight reels were getting swallowed up by smarter, more prepared defenses. That's why Stephanie White, Indiana Fever's head coach, has gone all in on re-engineering Clark's game from the inside out. White is leaving no stone unturned. Her goal? To make Clark unguardable. She's honing in on one area in particular, Clark's left hand. Not just to dribble better with it, but to finish at the rim with poise and control, no matter which side she attacks. It's a seemingly small shift, but in the WNBA, the difference between predictable and impossible to guard is often razor thin. Once Clark can go both ways effectively, the entire defensive map changes, and defenders lose their cheat code.
Doing a Euro, which at that point, it had hit me that I have never thought about Caitlin Clark doing a Euro. But you know what? I have to call this out.
But Coach White isn't stopping at ambidextrous layups. She's weaving new weapons into Clark's already loaded arsenal, most notably, the Euro step. Picture it. Clark barrels down the lane with that newfound strength she's built in the weight room. The defender braces for contact, only to be left in the dust as Clark glides past with a smooth, sudden Euro step, finishing with either hand. That single addition alone could be a game changer, giving Clark the edge she needs to keep defenders guessing and keep highlight reels spinning.
This is like the cream of the crop. They are going to catch on to the idea that she doesn't like to drive left. She always wants to drive right because she's right-hand dominated. And when she does her step backs, she likes to step back and go left. So I did see in some of her workout videos, the practicing of her developing a left hand. I saw her stepping right. So these are all great things to be developing for an already elite player.
The best part? This isn't a pipe dream. According to White, Clark is already making noticeable strides with her left hand. That's not just encouraging, it's scary. Because the moment Clark becomes a dual threat in the paint, defenders can no longer funnel her in one direction. They'll have to play her honest. And that split second of hesitation? That's all Clark needs to carve up a defense like it's Thanksgiving dinner.
To be able to be equal in terms of production and facilitation, going right and left, to be able to have different types of finishing looks, whether it's, crossbody finishes, whether it's floaters at the rim, whether it's quick floaters, long floaters, Euros. You can't quite be as fundamentally predictable with as much athleticism, speed, quickness, and as much as the game plan is going to be geared toward her.
But even more than her bag of tricks, White has her sights on Clark's engine, the stamina issues that haunted her in crunch time. It's no secret. By the fourth quarter last season, Clark's legs were often gassed. Her jumpers went flat, her passes lost zip, and the Fever's offense lost its edge. At times, she looked like she was running on fumes. And with all that pressure on her shoulders, who could blame her?
And then I think the challenge for us as coaches is how do we get her rest when she's on the floor while she's playing, right? Like while she's on the floor. And some of that's going to be playing off ball, utilize her as a screener.
Coach White saw the same thing, but instead of hitting the panic button, she hit the drawing board. Her solution isn't just to rest Clark more, it's to reinvent how she's used. One of White's biggest innovations is repositioning Clark as an off-ball threat. She's moving her away from the predictable spots. No more standing at the top of the key or camping out in the corner. Instead, Clark will attack from unexpected angles, slashing into third and fourth side actions where defenses won't see her coming.
Getting her into action on the third and fourth side instead of the first and second, where it's easy to game plan against. Now, how we use her to help everybody else be better off the ball. We know how great she is with the ball in her hands. We're not going to take that away, but we've got to be able to diversify a bit in how we use her. So
This isn't just some fancy basketball jargon. It's a game-breaking adjustment. Clark, already deadly with the ball, becomes even more dangerous without it. Now imagine a defense scrambling to find her after she slips behind a screen or cuts backdoor while the defense is focused elsewhere. She's not just a playmaker anymore, she's a stealth weapon.
as well, I mean, we've got like a short-term kind of list and we got a long-term kind of list, but Caitlin, I remember from the very first day when we were working on balance and we were working on footwork and we were looking at all those things, from day 1 to day 2, she had it.
Wow.
Like she's a perfectionist and she wants it and she's going to work on it. So that long list might get shorter every day we're in practice.
And then there's the Steph Curry effect. White has taken a page straight from Golden State's playbook by using Clark as a screener. It might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would your best shooter set screens? But that's the genius of it. When Clark screens, defenses have to make an impossible choice. If they switch, she can torch a slower defender off the bounce. If they don't, the player she screens for gets a clean look. Either way, it's a nightmare scenario, and one that doesn't require Clark to constantly have the ball in her hands.
Very true, because she's going to get burned out. So I think that, and Caitlin Clark mentioned wanting to play off ball a little bit, but I think it's true that having her play off ball is going to give her a little bit of a rest, and that makes her game more sustainable. She doesn't burn out as much.
The ripple effect of this tactic is massive. It not only gives Clark much-needed energy reserves throughout the game, but it also increases her impact in those clutch fourth-quarter moments when superstars are supposed to shine. And more importantly, it gives the Fever the kind of dynamic offense that's tough to scout, tougher to guard, and nearly impossible to predict. But beyond the tactics, the real magic is in the transformation. Coach White isn't just building plays around Clark. She's molding her into an entirely new kind of star. One who can initiate, facilitate, finish, and vanish, only to reappear exactly where defenses least expect her. White has praised Clark's ability to absorb complex strategies at lightning speed, comparing her learning curve to a seasoned pro. Every practice shows a jump in understanding, a tweak in movement, an elevation in efficiency.
That's going to be a huge thing. I don't expect it to be her to be perfectly good going left and right at an equal rate next year. Don't expect her to shoot the same going right, or I don't expect her to drive the same going left, but it's like, it took LeBron till 2013 realistically to be able to drive drive at the same level left as right. So I don't expect that to happen to Caitlin Clark in a year, but if there's a bit of an improvement year on year, she's going to be even more unstoppable.
What's emerging here isn't just a refined athlete. It's a basketball savant in the making. With improved strength, unpredictability, and a system built around smart movement, Clark is no longer just the face of the franchise. She's evolving into one of the most complete offensive threats the WNBA has ever seen. She's no longer trying to survive the rigors of a pro season. She's preparing to dominate it. And let's be real, this kind of structured high IQ growth stands in stark contrast to players like Angel Reese, whose Instagram reels feature carefully edited clips of long-range bombs and mid-drill dance moves, as if being a content creator is somehow the same as grinding in the film room. While Reese is chasing the algorithm, Clark is chasing greatness. One detailed rep, one film session, one sweat-soaked practice at a time.
That is such a big thing to hear from Stephanie White, and it should calm people down a little bit when it comes to Caitlin Clark playing off the ball, because obviously, if a coach has a plan and vision and a proper plan and vision.
The difference? Coach White. She's not interested in empty hype or chasing headlines. Her focus is on building something lasting, a system and a player that can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. And with Clark as her cornerstone, that system's foundation is rock solid. So if you thought last season was impressive, watch out. Because this version of Caitlin Clark, she's leaner, smarter, stronger, and far more unpredictable. And when she steps back on the floor, don't expect the same old moves. Expect fireworks. Expect Clark 2.0. And if you're ready to watch her light up the league, drop a "fired up for CC" in the comments and let the WNBA know the real show is just getting started. Subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.